correctly.
Okay, welcome to DieDragonDie Presents the Legends campaign. This is episode 18B. The players have decided that they wanted to play midweek. We're not going to stream this part of the episode. We are just simply going to record it as they're trying to solve a puzzle. This either will go very quickly or will be the most boring game ever for viewers. So we decided to record this one instead. We will post it up on YouTube a little bit later. We could also play the video or the edited version of the video at the beginning of our next game. I've got a ton of editing now to do, just basic editing, because we did a game on Saturday, a game on Sunday, and now a half game on Tuesday. You guys are burning through some of my material at a very quick rate. So this is both a good and bad thing. So where did the party leave off? They, last game, wandered into Acropolis and started playing with an artifact that Lady Petra, or Mother Petra, called the Ring of the Gods. And this got their attention, because the Ring of the Gods was an artifact that had been made reference to in other campaigns on other worlds. They never found the Ring of the Gods on these other campaigns and other worlds, but apparently they're staring at it here, in the bowels of Acropolis in the Inner Sanctum.
And we don't have a legend lost ground.
The puzzle thus far is there's a statue of Atlas holding a world called Crucible. It is an accurate depiction, perhaps even a real-time depiction with cloud formations and weather patterns, etc. It also shows the phase of the moon by light and dark, whether it's night or day on particular parts of Crucible. Around this world, there are seven symbols. The seven symbols are also found on a very large ring or washer, a 36,000-pound strange metal washer that has sections on it, and there are 30-some characters in this strange language, or almost like cuneiform, written on each of these panels around this large washer. They've dug it up, they've propped it upright, and now they're trying to figure out how to activate the device. What they've discovered is that by casting a very simple spell called Comprehend Languages, I'm going to share my screen.
We have no method of seeing anything.
They have figured that. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So there's a depiction of the sections around the ring itself. It's more like a giant chakram or like a washer. It's not multicolored like this, but what I was trying to show was the symbols that are around each of the sections of the ring. When Lemio cast Comprehend Languages, each of these symbols turned into letters of sorts. Now, Lemio's natural language is Gnomish, so this turned into the Gnomish representations of, for example, TTS, or LRDS, or LRDMD. When one of the characters, I believe it was Lokrik, was actually writing down the symbol and then the letters equivalent in Gnomish, Lemio glanced again while he had his Comprehend Languages cast, and the part that translated again into something else was these letters, LRDS or LRMD, and we'll call them the second derivative of the Comprehend Languages turned into words that he understood. So, for example, TTS turned into chaos, whereas LRDS turned into white. So we'll call that the second derivative Comprehend Languages. And then we've got basically a key that shows the first and second derivative of Comprehend Languages from the base symbols themselves. Azildan then remembered that they found a sword that was part of the treasure hoard of a very ancient pre-Runeshod settlement cave where Hrothulf the Mighty was buried. And one of the offerings that was around Hrothulf the Mighty was an elvish blade made of mithril that had the same first 6 symbols that are beside the living globe of Crucible. Now, they didn't recognize them as a language at first because they didn't actually cast comprehend languages on that blade. The language kind of looks like just symbols and stylization. It was kind of hidden in the back of the blade, and there was an actual proper inscription in Elvish kind of over top of it. So it actually looked like more like styling. But the blade did have the symbols for orange summer air father, green mother. And it seemed to be missing a 7th symbol that is on the or near the statue of Atlas, called Harmony. I see that some of you guys have been writing down some thoughts or clues, and there's some really interesting thoughts that Adam had. I think it was Adam. I think others might have edited this, but I could see that Adam did edit this. That you may want to go over. And my major hint is that with the information provided thus far, they could figure out their approach to trying to get this thing to work from just the things that I've given them. That's my major clue. Like, they've done a lot of in-game touching and trying to activating and like touching and booping. There is an indication as to the function or the way to make it work from the information that I've given. From the information that you have. And that's my my big fucking like back up the truck and dump a clue by 4. Hey, but it's only one clue by 4. Where are the rest of them?
Who put all those clue by 4s in the truck?
It is really big.
Well, yeah.
But we're poking at it, but it is... I mean, I am told, but that is very hard to reach. Maybe it is like other magic, where you have to talk to it to make it go.
Oberon.
Well, don't ask me. I'm no expert in magic.
Oberon and Lokrik return with the blade, and you guys are starting to look at the blade. Sir Galeth appears because his internet connection is working. I mean...
Yes!
He stops moping in the hallway, guarding, and going,
I miss my horse!
I hope he's alright.
We'll say
Well,
Galeth...
while you were away, John, we summoned your horse into this thing and burned it alive, so... Sorry.
in the thing
Just
that
wait
you guys
until
are
I have
calling the
another
soul
horse.
pit. Yeah. I'm not too sure if that's...
the soul furnace.
Not too sure if that's correct.
Let's see sword.
Okay. Lokrik carries the weapon because dwarf, war god, weapons. He likes weapons. Let's see. The weapon is an ornate masterwork mithril elven curved blade. Ornate gives you a +2 bonus to diplomacy or intimidate in appropriate situations. Mithril's treated as silver. The reason why it didn't end up in Oberon's book is that it's not radiating magic. There's a carved dragon head on the pommel made of ivory with an emerald in its mouth. It has a stylized shadowy pattern across the flat of its silvery blade with an etched inscription.
Uker,
The inscription says the Song of the Dancing Star in Elvish, but also in the background of the actual Elvish description, you see distinctively those strange cuneiform symbols that are next to Crucible in the next room, but only the first 6 of them. Harmony is nowhere to be found.
It is missing harmony. If this sword is from Crucible, pointing over to the Atlas statue at the other end, then probably harmony.
It was either left with Hrothulf when Hrothulf died, or perhaps people visited Hrothulf's body and gave him offerings, like a tomb.
Maybe Hrothulf came from Crucible. Or went to Crucible.
It's a possibility. There were many races that dwelled on Crucible. It was not an Elvish-only world. Loker gives him a look like he never considered the fact that there could be a world with only elves on it.
Ukor says, put down the blade. Put down.
Put what down?
The elf blade.
Okay. He there was there a scabbard for it? I don't remember.
I don't think.
There was no scabbard in the description.
Okay, so he just puts it gently down on the ground.
Oberon,
He could have been
Use
rough
your-
with it, but
use your magic to pick up.
I believe Oberon has Mage Hand.
How's he going to prepare?
Well, that's not gonna look. Does he have to spend points to use a cantrip?
Use a mythic. I want to
Use
say
a
mythic point
cantrip.
for to get a mage hand going.
He is a universalist, so he does have Handy the Apprentice. He could cause a weapon to fly around, but that's like a violently
That's to
fly
attack,
around.
though.
Well, it also can be done with a magic weapon. We want a mage hand that can't. Magic things can't be picked up with mage hand.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, he prepares Mage Hand as an Arcana spell, so he can do this all day. Now, how much does this fucking sword weigh?
It's a scimitar.
It's 3.5.
It's an elvish thin blade.
It's a mithril, elven
So it's
curve
half.
blade. It's two. It's not a scimitar. It's bigger than that. It's like the two-handed falchion of elvish kind. 18 through 20 crit, man.
Oh,
This is if you
Oh,
put
yeah, that's right.
if you put Keen on this thing, this would be a 15 through 20 item.
okay. Well, here, let's figure out how much this thing is. Elvish curve blade. They weigh 7 pounds. Becomes 3.5 pounds.
3.5 pounds, so it's less than 5. So he casts a spell, and I guess this kind of confirms it's not an artifact. That's a really dinky way of.
Yes. Artifact must be big. By the law of Ukor, it shall be large, like the ring.
I can't. Yeah, it's like your 0th level spell identifies artifacts. Fuck. All right.
Artifacts.
It won't pick up the magic blade, but it picks up the artifact. No. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one.
It might not. It might be able to pick up cursed items that want to be picked up.
It may not be a reliable way. But this ghostly hand, it's even more tepid than his attack spell, which always kind of seems to be in a hostile position, kind of overhand touching, and then but you do see this ghostly hand pick up the weapon, and he's concentrating on it. He's actually got his finger to his forehead to let you know that he's concentrating on it. He doesn't have to do that.
Magic. It is not magic, or it is magic and hiding, and can be picked up with magic.
Previously, when we checked it, I've also checked it again while we were walking. It does not bear any enchantment.
It is quite a beautiful blade, though. We could likely sell it close to 3,000 gold coins simply for its craftsmanship and precious metals.
No.
It is beautiful.
It is connected to this for sure. Can we cast spell on it? Can you make it light?
Okay, he. I don't think he has to concentrate on Mage Hand.
No.
Okay, so he casts a light spell on it. He glows, casting a bluish light in the room.
That thing points at the ring. The ring of God. you cannot put light on. It eats the lamp.
Alright, but this is a sword, and that's the ring of the gods.
Yes, but this has the writing of the ring. It also has the writing of the Atlas.
And so does the page of my book. And he casts light on the book, and the light goes away from the sword, and the book is now lit.
I'll grab the sword out of the floating in front of me.
Okay. The hand goes grasping for it, and then he just simply waves it away.
This might be used to start that.
Is it still there?
What are you talking about?
The porcelain fleshy thing?
No, my migraine is back.
Yes. Because nothing helps with puzzle solving more.
Like a migraine. Lenny's like, you should be hiding in some pipe.
Let me put the volume down a bit. Alright. Okay. Go ahead. What are we at now?
So we should all just make cackling noises and like
Make child noises. I won't visit you at night,
flashing
don't worry.
light and just have some like dubstep on the background. Watch a bunch of Japanese cartoons and
Suicide Squad is good, and they did some rapper named like Ron John with Skrillex did one of the main songs for the movie, as well as a whole bunch of good music from like 70s and 80s. But like rap dubstep was interesting. It wasn't terrible.
Did you get up in the theater and dance? Were you having a dance party in the theater?
It was rubstep.
Okay.
In terms of music and movies, I think what was brilliant was Guardians of the Galaxy. The way they used old music.
Along the same concept. Very good.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
It was pleasing.
Uker will point the sword at the ring.
It does not appear to take offense to your hostile action.
And then he's going to recite.
Oh no, it's fighting defensively.
Oh no! He will. Oh, that.
He asks, Oberon. Okay, are we on fucking OneNote map tools?
Yeah, we're in the
Connect to server. Oberon, can you detect magic between? Just start detecting magic. I'm gonna cast magic on the inside of the hole.
He moves to a position so that he doesn't have all of you in the arc of the magic that he's detecting, so you can see both the Ring of the Gods and you guys if he decides. However, his detect magic remains his own.
Lenny steps into the go.
You see him slightly turn his hand.
Well, I have to get close to shoot the inside of this. I'm a short fella.
What is it that you're going to try? The awful corpse pile of people who have been melted into stone?
No, what I'm going to try is I want to see, as we have a link between our stones and the like our traveling stones and our personal stones, I want to see if there's a magic link between the lid, the inside of the pot, and the ring. And it appears that the ring absorbs magic. I'm wondering if you cast magic on the lid, if it'll connect to the ring.
Keep in mind that only 2 of us have power left in our stones. Actually, only 1. Isildin's the only one who hasn't used his stone today.
I'm not planning on using the stone.
You used yours to get here.
I'm just casting a spell.
So did
just
Uker.
Yeah, I understand.
And then
Lokrik
and I are the only ones. Lokrik and I used our stones getting there and back to fetch the sword.
Correct. I only want to cast magic on the lid and cast magic on the inside. I want to see if they're connected, that's all. Do you understand? See if there's a magic tether between both of them.
Yes.
So, I'm just gonna pick a crappy spell. What the hell? Okay, I'm just gonna pick some crappy spell, hold on.
Once, summer, air, father, green, mother, harmony.
What's wrong with this bastard?
He's just...
Yeah, I know.
He's waggling the thing and shouting at the rain.
Nothing happens that is...
Unfortunately, I don't
sensible.
Really
It's an interesting weapon. I think it gives you a bonus to combat maneuver defense whenever a foe attempts to sunder your Elven Curve Blade due to the flexible metal.
You can also use your dex as you can swap use weapon finesse with it.
Yeah, you can use weapon finesse with this, despite
Oh,
the fact that
Bonus
it's
to
not a
looking
light.
fly, obviously.
Flaming sphere. Where's flaming sphere? Second circle. Yeah. Flaming sphere.
Okay.
I'll cast flaming sphere and drop it down on the lid.
On the lid.
Yeah,
Now is the lid? I forget now. Is the lid?
it's on its back.
It was flipped.
It's on its.
It's on
Okay.
the top.
So you're rolling the stone around the lid. The lid itself doesn't seem harmed by it at all.
But does it absorb it?
Give me a spellcraft.
Okay. He's also watching, so I assume he's.
Lokrik's
Doing
actually
this,
going to wander over to take a closer look. He's smart enough to get it to go around Oberon.
+9. Okay, one sec.
He's watching the stone as the flaming sphere is rolling around on it.
Oh crap! I'm in the wrong server. Sorry. Hold on. D20 +9.
I guess
Are you in Douchebags Incorporated, 13th Age?
What's that?
There we go. 14.
One of the
Marty.
servers for map tools. I just noticed the name was Douchebags Incorporated, 13th Age.
14 is my.
They
roll.
play like we do.
That's how it sounds like.
14 is my total.
They might be just a little bit more upfront about it.
Yeah.
Marty, 14 is my total.
14? Okay, yeah, I wasn't logged in. A 14. All right, so the stone is not being harmed. You notice Lokrik's
Okay.
looking at it.
This stone is.
He's actually touching part of the stone.
This stone has been blasted by great heat many times.
I'm wondering if it's absorbing the magic. Lemmy's gonna pop the stone, the ball over the flaming sphere over to the side of the
It's
of here.
almost as if this stone was selected for this purpose.
I would imagine that the side of the inside here is made of the same material. So Lemmy tosses it in here.
Okay. Lokrik goes over and he kind of joins Lemio, and then he's looking in while you're causing the flaming sphere to roll around inside. The flaming sphere doesn't last long enough to like melt anything. It would set
right.
combustibles on fire.
The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the sphere to jump onto the ring.
Okay. When you make the sphere to go away from this hole, Lokrik's actually climbing down into the hole.
Okay. And on like the last 2 rounds, I'm gonna make
He
the
almost
sphere
falls,
jump
but
onto.
he manages to get down there.
I'll make it jump onto the ring and let the ring absorb it.
Okay. So you roll
Like,
up
I'm
to
gonna
the
see how
ring,
it
and
res-
you kind of sit it next to the ring, and oh yeah, it's taking your spell.
So the ring is the only thing that's sucking the spell.
Yeah, you see
That's
this warm
absorbing.
spot kind of where the flaming sphere is touching it, and then the flaming sphere begins to get absorbed by the ring. And there's this brief
Cool.
warm spot where you left it. It's not on a symbol; it's just kind of on the side. And your
Yeah.
spell, you feel your spell kind of get
So
grabbed.
I used a
from you.
mythic point for that. I already marked it off.
You can hear Lokrik. He's taking out some of his fine tools that he uses in his various crafts. He's going tink 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 tink.
Oh,
Can I help him? Appraise. I rolled a net 20 last time.
there are at least 12 different materials down here, all melted together.
Fascinating.
And the stress lines.
He's looking around at the sides.
Do you think it was really intended to use as a way to kill creatures? Or was it just an incidental use?
I don't know, but I get the sense that things are really packed in here. I don't see any stone that looks like that stone, but I also don't see the bottom. There's too much of this horrible statue that looks real. And he goes over to the dragon head that's kind of like half melted into the stone, and he's tink, 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 tink.
Looks like a cooking that no one's ever cleaned.
You know how a candle melts? It's
That's
like
what
a
it looks like.
melted candle pancake.
I don't know. I was too poor to have candles.
So follow
You
my
know what
logic.
pancakes are.
Follow my logic. This thing is used to select. It's powered by magic, and you somehow use maybe the sword or some other rod to select a plane. I don't know how you select a specific creature, but you select a creature, it falls in, and then you switch this to another plane, perhaps the plane of fire, and you burn it.
That's somebody's boot underneath the dragon. But you see the tip of the boot?
And he actually puts his pick through it.
Yeah.
But then he goes to the bottom of the boot that you can't quite see, and it's like tink, 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 tink.
It's like it's coming out of the stone.
Wait, what's coming out of the stone?
Maybe this is filled with liquid rock, like lava, and then things melt and it gets hard.
See these stressed lines?
You can actually see these striations along the side of the walls.
Whatever's happened here has happened many times.
Right, look at how many times the ones in here. Look at them. They can't be coming from the same place. It's not like they went in here willingly, right? They must have just dropped in.
Maybe there's something wrong with it. Maybe it doesn't work right.
No. Look at this place. Yeah. See.
Gareth.
Yes.
I want to see if we can stick sword in the Atlas statue somewhere, if there is hole for it. Not going to make a hole. Look at Oberon.
His head!
Oberon wasn't talking to Petra, who told you not to break the statue. He doesn't know the warning.
Oh, I thought he was just really exasperated as I thought of.
No, he's still concentrating on the magic, but he's kind of getting bored with it because everyone's radiating magic because they're carrying magic items.
Okay.
Lokrik climbs out. He was gonna ask for a hand to help out, but then it was Lemmy, and he just kind of crawled out unceremoniously on his
Yeah,
own.
Uka kind of just.
I would have summoned something to push him up. That's all I would have done.
That's fine. He's got ranks in climb. It's just that his -4 from his chainmail.
Maybe you should see how many spells it can eat.
Yeah, he's got a +4 climb. He eventually got out.
Uka's going to grab Galith and try to pull him over to the Atlas statue to see. Because he'll help me with my search check.
Okay. There's if
Oberon can, or Azzy can come.
this must be the depiction of the strongest being in all the multiverse, with all of the over-exaggerated musculature, like every single muscle.
Does he have
Of course,
a
it
beard?
might be the difference between strength and bodybuilding, but you guys might not have that.
Does he have a beard?
Yes, he does have a beard.
Okay, then he might be the strongest person. It might be a picture of him. It might be a scavenger.
My face does not look like that.
It
After-
does pose
after
the
a cut
question, is
cycle.
like, how much does a world weigh? Well, Atlas knows. He can put it on his back.
We
Today
are
Today I
looking
learned
for-
that weightlifting equals
Lemmy's
intimate
gonna
knowledge
go
of
to the
cosmic bodies.
Celestial bodies on a beach somewhere. Ooh.
Lemmy's gonna go to the ring, and he's gonna cast Entangle.
Wait, huh?
You touch it and cast Entangle on it. Does it absorb that magic?
You're touching it, and you cast a spell Technically, when you do touch instead of do range, you can make things like you can channel your spells this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the briefest of a moment, there were some vines that grew around your hand, and then it got absorbed by the disc.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be picky. Can you guys keep track of the spells now that you've cast into the frame?
I'm keeping track. I'm marking my spells off as I go.
No. Keep a list
The-
of...
What it's
What was
absorbed.
cast in?
It's
Yeah.
absorbed 2 light spells, a flaming sphere, which is the second circle, and then an entangle, which is
Okay.
first circle.
So I'm going to create a page.
Would you like me to keep track?
Yep. Can you build a table that says what spell, whether it was arcane or divine,
It's
the caster level, and the spell level?
Sure. Yeah, there we go. I like this. This makes me feel good in my
So,
naughty
Let me
place.
go into his next thing. I've still got a lot of spells left today. I don't mind waiting till the end of the day or the night before I pump all the rest of my spells into it to see what happens. Perhaps it needs to be charged up before we can use the rod.
What rod?
The sword.
I don't know if the
That's
sword
right.
does anything.
It has to.
It has to because you say it has to.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense.
So here. These 7 symbols. What came first? The sword? Or the what is the arm thing called?
The arm thing?
Thing around the spear.
Yeah, what do you want to call it?
And the coordinate, the
Marqua.
Like a Farquaad, but better.
which one came first? The sword? Or that? Or were the symbols etched into the sword after that was made? Someone identified that planet using these 7 symbols. They put 6 of them onto the sword. Now there are 7 symbols on the markings, and the sword only has 6, correct?
It is a strange alphabet. And if I were to guess that most alphabets are older than most swords.
Have been what?
I would have to go bring it to one of the stone speakers to ascertain its age.
Locric's saying that he knows people who can talk to stones.
Yes, I know of spells that can do that. I can speak with plants, but I can't speak with stones yet.
He gives you an appraising nod that, he's looking forward to the day you can chit-chat with stones. It's a very dwarven thing to want or admire.
Sure.
It's my pet rock.
Hello, Petrock.
Hello.
It doesn't like you.
It's burpees. The pit roast.
Burpees? What? Burpees?
Yeah.
It's a friend that keeps on giving.
Every once in a while, we can just burpees.
Marty, did you create a page in the journal for
It's my pet rock
spells?
called Kidney Stone.
Just can't get rid of them.
Marty, where did you say you created a page
It's a little rough around
for
the
the
edges.
spells?
Adam's creating it, I think.
Oh,
It's on Puzzle Quest at the bottom.
did you already fill it out? You did.
Yes.
6. Okay, flame spear is 8.
Cash
Okay,
level
yeah.
was 8 for Flaming Sphere because you used your mythic point to get it.
Yep, you're good. You're right.
Is there a hole in that list where we can insert a sword? Kind of envisioning like a joystick, but
Yeah, you give me a perception check as you're searching high and low for this guy.
I would like to help Azzy. Who has come with?
If you help me, I get a 37.
I help you.
Okay.
Oh,
Are you
Lemmy's
just
gonna-
searching the statue, or are you also searching the globe?
Lemmy's making
Everything.
a favor.
Search the whole goddamn thing.
Pedestal, statue, globe.
Okay,
Lemon makes his
so
way
as he
over as well.
searches the statue, there does not appear to be any place to put a device in. The statue does not
Okay.
have like a hole in its anus or anything like that.
I wasn't thinking there. I was kind of thinking in the back. There, sort of like
So it's a statue. It doesn't have any like it's rounded in the ears and all the orifices. Like you can't
Wait a
put things up
fucking
in
second. Wait a second.
No.
oh, we're waiting.
Marty, Lemmy's gonna go and cast a spell on the thing that's support the 7 symbols that are supporting the sphere.
Okay. It appears that's the only part of the statue construct that appears to be made of the same metal as the Ring of the Gods.
Does it absorb magic? I'm gonna cast fuck, I don't know. Here. Owl's Wisdom. Can I touch it? I mean, can I
You can.
Okay, and cast Owl's Wisdom on it. Does it absorb the spell?
Yes, but much more slowly.
Remember on. I don't think they're actually connected.
I'm
Might be
what
that-
you mean.
Okay, I'll start walking back to
No,
Oberon.
they're walking towards you guys. They see all the action has gone down to this end, so they'll.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
took torches with me. My bad.
Here's the thing. Who says that what we're looking at over here is the same thing that's going to be summoned or used over there? They could be two different things. So this thing also absorbs magic.
Azildin, you're still searching. You search the thing that he touched and cast magic on. You don't find any place to put it in. You end up touching the globe a little bit, at first hesitantly. It's almost like there's a bit of magic covering the sphere. At first, you're hoping that you're not causing tsunamis or destroying continents by touching it. But your hand does go through.
I'm the butterfly.
Your hand does go through like a couple of inches, and you do feel a smooth sphere of metal underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And
that's
it's,
right.
and it's like you're dispersing the magic slightly. It's kind of like there's a mist that when you pull your hand back, it just sort of it shimmers back into place. It doesn't look like you're disturbing the world.
All right. That's so.
And then with your 35, you notice on one of those burning
37.
continents, 37, on the burning continent, there's this tiny little red circle that you guys never really quite saw before, but now that you're climbing over it like a monkey.
I found something on the world.
Okay, we'll climb
Wait,
over.
Marty, is it like a beep? Beep?
It's not pulsing.
Like
It's,
homing
it's,
beacon?
it's just there. And now that you've gotten really close,
Is it small?
What is it?
Use this.
says Lokrik as he's holding up a small spyglass
Magnifying
that
glass?
he uses to look at gems with.
I don't see how putting a window in front of. Oh wow!
Okay.
Right.
Um,
Sorry, I'm munching.
this can't be to scale, or maybe it's a really big one, but there is something floating millimeters above the world, and it looks like a tiny ring of the gods.
Sylvan sees if he can move it.
Keep watching it. Hold
okay,
on a
so
second.
no, when you stick your finger in it, it kind of like
Yeah.
warbles like it's a projection.
Let
and-
me jumps down and runs to the other side.
Uh,
Keep
the ring,
looking
the
at
ring of
it.
the gods seems to be hovering over a blasted and cracked-looking mountain range that's spilling lava
Keep looking
into the
at it.
surroundings countryside.
Keep watching. Keep looking at that same spot. Hold on. I'm casting another spell into it. Lemmy's going to blast another spell. Tell me if it gets stronger. I'm going to use a higher level spell. I'm going to use Create Food and Water.
What do you see, lad?
Okay, so you're using create food and water into the sphere.
Yeah, it's a third level, six caster level. Divine.
Okay, no
Adam, are
food
you updating?
appears. Instead, you feel your magic being channeled into the device.
Okay. Do you see anything happening?
Don't really see anything happening.
The world fills with bread. I mean, no. I feed everybody.
The entire economy collapses as all the
Exactly.
farmers quit their jobs.
It collapses because there's too much bread to eat, and then it creates pestilence and plague and disease and oh my.
We've just
Thanks,
killed 6
Lemmy.
billion people.
Thanks, Lummy.
No, nothing visibly happens when Lemmy yells that he's casting spells.
Yeah, he just yells back, "Yeah, I didn't do nothing."
He'll try another one.
You can see that it's shaped like the Ring of the Gods, but you can't quite see if there's symbols on it.
It's like floating,
It's floating just millimeters above where the mountain
but
range
to
is.
scale it would be like 100 feet in the air.
To scale it would be gargantuan, something that's visible from space.
Okay.
Okay,
give
so Marty,
me a knowledge geography check.
I don't have that.
Lummy does. Call me when I'm done. I'm casting another spell.
Give
into
me
it. Sorry.
a int check.
What was the knowledge? 'Cause
Geography?
Geography?
Any geography.
No.
Okay.
14.
Do you think it's more of a map marker than anything? It just doesn't make sense to you that something would be hovering in that big and...
Marty, I put in another spell. Dispel magic, third circle.
Okay.
Adam?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Thanks.
I now have to glance at this thing in a minute, but...
We're at 9 circles, or 10 if you include half for each cantrip. And our cast level is...
That's still 6.
Can you multiply the two numbers together and then start telling that up?
Sure.
Okay. Reasons?
I gave a couple
Just
of
getting
different...
him to do random math. I'm just curious what those
Just-
numbers
Yeah.
Now divide that number
has it
by
changed at all?
3.5.
Are cantrips considered a half or 0?
We'll consider them a half.
Do you see anything at all? Any
There's
changes?
like a map marker here.
What? For fuck's sakes. Flying really
It's
makes
a
things
little
faster.
tiny ring.
let me run his ass over.
Yep.
This is really getting fucking tiring.
Oberon says, nothing
'Kay.
happened to it when you cast your spells.
Yeah.
64.
Right. What are you looking at?
I'm just kidding, Demi. There's nothing here.
Can I take a look? Marty's gonna take a look.
Okay. Your fly by this point has probably run out, but Lowcrick...
I'm not using
Okay.
a fly.
Lowcrick helps you.
Lemmy's running up.
Lowcrick, you set up a rope and Lowcrick helps you, boost you up, and in between Uker and Isilden helping you, you can go and have a look. You're now on all fours, like sitting on a continent, looking down at the thing. Every time Lemio moves, it sends ripples across the image. So
Uker starts stirring the world with the sword.
Good. Sec.
Having fun up there.
slaying millions with this
19.
tornado.
19.
Yeah, you see the thing that they're pointing at. Oh, and
23.
yeah, it's a map marker.
Well, it is a map marker.
That's what I said.
But are these 7 coordinates indicating where on the planet it's pointing to?
The map marker looks like the Ring of the Gods. But it's just so small that you can't see the fine detail.
No, but it's like these 7 indicators. Are these indicating where on the planet they're pointing to, or are these indicating? Now, do you see my question? Are these indicating to a planet, or are these indicating to an area on the planet?
Don't know yet. But this sword says 6 of them. So those 6 must be where the sword is from. Or
Could
a
be.
code. Or we're really unlucky.
Is it on the burning continent where the map marker is?
Yeah, it is.
It seems to be in the source of the burning. Like, it seems like all the lava that's climbing into these mountains and pouring down and kind of cracking out of this
Yeah.
place, going into the rest of the continent, seems to be from that mountain range.
Looking right over what looks like a very angry volcano type area.
Let me actually look.
Um,
Does it look like it is coming from like on top of a volcano? Do you know what I mean?
It looks less like a volcano and more like an entire kind of like half moon mountain range just started bleeding fire into the world.
So did the rain cause it?
Like a mountain range exploded sideways and then just started oozing into the world.
I'm gonna start.
That mountain range was the center of what was left of a council of worms.
Council of Worms.
Um,
What do you mean worms?
Not all dragons are destructive. These few
one
remaining,
of them was, maybe more.
these few remaining specimens acted more like shepherds to the world.
Oh, yes. We knew to give praise to those that had scales of metal.
Yes.
No, you'd have dragon of sky and of river, those ones you praise.
It's obvious that something bad happened there. Something
So
went
last you
wrong.
left, it wasn't like that.
I didn't come from Crucible, my people did. I was born on
Yes.
this Loros.
Sorry, Bibbs.
I was born here, lad, but this is where my people are from.
Um, is there any sign of a mechanism in this? Like, I'm going to start looking at the globe itself to see if the
Lemmy's
sphere
actually
underneath can
feeling the
rotate.
inside of the sphere. The
Yeah,
inside of the
you
sphere
guys.
itself.
So Zildin with his 35, you're helping him. You search the entire sphere, and it feels like the sphere, as well, might be the same metal as the other room, but you don't feel any symbols. It seems to be smooth.
No
Any
drivetrains or gears or...
No drivetrains or gears or anything like that.
Okay.
The light, because you guys have seen it in various points in time, the light just seems to move around the sphere day and night.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it doesn't even spin. It is fixed in place. The sphere is fixed in place.
on top of the mountains, the burning mountains. So it's
No. The
geosynchronous.
actual sphere of the Atlas itself is fixed in place. You're feeling around. You're feeling around underneath, and Uker said he was going to try to shift it. No, the thing is one
It's
big
fixed.
solid piece.
Yeah.
Got it.
Is there a way to shift the indicators on this?
So you start like fiddling around, like trying to move the little marker.
Yeah. No, not the marker, the indicators.
The indicators, so the symbols that are along the bracket, orange something, like the seven.
Yeah.
They
Some are air
are
father.
concave. Or sorry, convex. They're like bubbled out of the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other ones are pushed in.
And you try to push on them, and the metal's hard.
So they don't twist or
They don't twist. They're all one piece. Azildan doesn't even see chisel marks on that metal.
Lemmy's gonna touch the sphere thing, and he's going to. Can I have the sword?
There's an
please.
awkward thing as a live blade is one size category
Yeah.
bigger is handed up to Limp.
Don't drop it.
So he's gonna
drop it on
try to
me.
touch. He's gonna try to touch. Well, he's leaning it, but holding the blade. He's touching. And he's trying to think. He's trying to think different commands, like water, move on top of, expand, shrink, move along the water, move along the mountains, move up, go down. He's thinking winter, summer, or north, south.
So a flood of thoughts enter your mind as you're holding the blade.
And touching the thing, the thing with the seven symbols.
The mithril makes a clink against the strange metal that the device
No, I'm
is made
touching
of.
it myself. I'm
Okay.
holding the sword and touching it myself.
Yep. Azildan, you notice that there's a strange amount of snow on this world, given that there's an entire burning continent.
That just appeared?
No.
Okay, good. Stop breaking the world, Lemmy.
Snowy, looks uncomfortable.
It might have to do with all that dark stuff that various cracks in the world are kind of spewing up into the atmosphere.
Oh. So that's Crucible, you can keep it.
There are other places kind of along the equator and in the southern hemisphere that seem like they're still green. But yeah, it does look like there's a lot of snow on the bottom side as well.
Did the ring stop drinking?
Drinking what?
Magic. You were supposed to be feeding its belly.
I can continue, but... all right, but I can keep giving it magic, but I'll dry myself out. He looks at everyone's for a nod.
Yeah, alright.
All right, Jimmy hops down.
Perhaps you could use one of your useless wands in this endeavor.
He throws the wand down in the moaning well. No, I'm
You use the wand.
It's a piece of shit.
I remember you complaining about one of the wands you got early on. It's like,
Yeah, it's purify food and water or something.
Little
like
did we know that was the only thing Zakander needed to escape.
It's the only thing I can use. Okay, well, I'm gonna go through. Adam, start taking note. I'm gonna start putting this into it. Dancing lights, ghost sound, prestidigitation, speak with animals.
Oh god.
Dancing lights is let me tell you.
They're all 0.
That's 0. Are they all 0?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not speak with animals.
Wait. Cantrips are like, you can cast a cantrip all day, right?
Yeah.
These ones are my personal
Yeah,
ones.
okay, fine. Half is fine for cantrips. That's fine.
It just takes forever. At 3 versus 18 for casting, it will take a while to charge something up.
Yeah,
Now,
but you
this
still have spells.
now
Yeah.
entangle, pass without trace. So, 2 first. I'll just give you the level, okay? 2 first circle at 6.
I think that's fair.
Okay, I will, because otherwise it's going to get really cumbersome. So
Yeah.
here,
2 first circle.
first
Actually, why don't I just give you this?
0.
Okay, so Lemio's casting pretty much all of his spells into the disc.
Yeah.
It is a hungry device. It eats all your hippos. I mean, all the pellets.
2, 3 seconds.
Okay, so
It eats all the hippos that eat all the pellets.
There's 3 seconds in there.
President
There's-
Coolidge would be upset.
2/3.
alright,
Didn't he have a pet hippo?
I don't know.
Oh, could not tell.
That sounds like American something or other, which I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he had a pygmy
Now-
hippo as a pet.
Adam, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4 firsts.
Okay. Goddamn my fingers.
Typey.
Okay,
1, 2.
we're over
3.
100.
1, 2, 3, 4 seconds.
Okay.
1, 1/3. That's all I have left.
Okay.
Now I'm pretty fucking useless. just saying. Okay, I'm remarking my spells as fresh because I don't have any spells. So for tomorrow when I have spells, I have nothing left. So I have one mythic point, but I'm not using that.
Alright. I don't cast spells.
That's all I can start putting in other ones, like add 30 0-level spells. I'll just stand there like light.
What's
light.
the total of the multiplication in the sum?
Yeah, give me your commercial.
I'll just keep putting in 0
We'll
level
call that
spells.
spell power. Like, what's the total spell power put into it?
I'll spend another, say, 10 minutes putting in 0-level spells, which is
Just give us a sec, please.
I know.
Thank you. You keep changing the total when I'm at 244 spell work.
Okay, you're almost at the end of you casting your spells when you heard a slight hum come from the device. Boom.
I did it!
And it didn't take you that long. That's like 2 minutes of casting to 3 minutes of casting. So,
Like you just heard this.
Lemmy's gonna start casting more like first circle, 0th level spells. This gonna take longer. So
That
how
was
many
it.
can I cast?
Then you cast it again. You didn't get that thrum. It's still eating your spells.
Okay, but there was a response. So
There was
Lemmy's gonna
a
continue
slight
casting.
vibration that because you were touching it and right next to that you heard and felt.
Got it. I felt it. I felt something change. It responded, but it's still static.
no is the time.
If
He's got the sword.
if the moaning well wasn't loud, you likely would have heard it in the other room though. Like you likely would have heard the.
People rush over to the other room.
Yep.
Clank, clank, clank.
Can you clank it in the bag?
I'm
Yep.
stealthy.
Lokerkin and Galeth clanking away. His is more of a ching 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 as he's got his chainmail on.
Uker is going to hand the big sword to Oberon.
Lemmy's
Oberon
still
takes
going
it.
like.
Oberon does have finesse. He does not have
Martial proficiency.
Yeah.
Pointed at the ring and used the command.
Lemmy jumps out of the way.
He points it at the ring with his 2 hands, holding
Oh.
the blade up. It takes
Hold
him a
on
bit
a
of effort.
second.
Well,
It's
actually,
still
3.5
taking.
pounds. No, it's light. He's able to just point it at it. Yeah.
It's still eating my spells. Hold on. You crazy bastards.
Get out of the way, Lemmy.
Lemmy dives out of the way. I hate you.
Are you going into the soul pit? Is that what you've called it?
Perfect. Face first. No, Marty.
Okay.
Lemmy
What do you want
does
me
a
to
wisdom
say?
check.
I think it is harmony, but you might need the whole thing.
Harmony.
The rest of it is like just
Which language should I say it in?
the oldest elven you know. Maybe Draconic. Or do you speak God tongue?
Okay. He says harmony in crucible trade tongue. He says it in Elven. He says it in Sylvan, Draconic, Dwarven, Gnome, Halfling, Orc, Goblin, Giant, Icelandic, and Celestial. Nothing happens. He then begins the longer process of saying all 7 symbols, their names, in each of those languages.
Now we poke.
Do it again. I don't think. Listen, I don't think it's. Listen,
Okay.
I think.
Do it again, but with poking.
God damn it! Lemmy, there's a little Lemmy like, wait till you listen to me! I'm passing on my spells here!
Oberon finally turns to you as he's finishing up the last language.
The thing responded like it needed more. But it responded like we're doing the right thing. Do you understand now?
How much more magic can we pour in?
Is that what it told you?
That's what it sounded like. So Lemmy goes over and starts putting in more first circle spells. Or
Hold
zero,
on,
sorry.
I've got some spells that I can put in.
Just touch it and pour it in. That's what I'm doing. So
Alright.
Lemmy's gonna spend. How many can you cast in a minute? 6 seconds.
10.
Right, 10 in a minute. So he'll spend 30 minutes. Just dun, 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 dun. But he's gonna take a break. So probably
30 seconds.
no 30 minutes. He'll sit there for half an hour.
Oh.
Boom, boom.
Okay, well, I'm assuming you guys are going to be trying things during that half hour, so...
Yeah, Lemmy's taking a half hour to just fucking just. He's like now sure like this is the way. Tomorrow I'll get you. Tomorrow I'll get you.
So I don't know about you guys, but I just have this feeling like there was a phrase that was said and interpreted differently. I heard a different thing than what other people might have heard.
I heard there was a hum, and it's still taking your like a womb, like it's